journals I had hoped to embed into your brain this week. First one, we have this idea that creativity and genius is rare. Let's break through that lie. Genius, insight, and solutions and ideas are as abundant as the seed of nature. Abundant, and genius is available to anyone. The issue is, are you receptive to it? So abundance, abundance, abundance is available to you, that you have genius, and the problem is not availability but just being receptive to the Holy Spirit. The second thing I talked about, and I did not get to cover it near enough, and that is the idea of ritual. And the reason for ritual, why does ritual work? Well, ritual is powerful because it allows you a way to create a habit. The ritual sets you up to reward in the process of creating this habit, and the purpose in habit is to create transformation. We all think we're going to do things by willpower, right? We're going to, through willpower, break through bad habits and break through bad beliefs. The problem is that every single one of us has this much willpower. We all have the most teensiest bit of willpower, and it's usually gone by 10 in the morning if you're up by 8. It's usually gone the first couple hours you wake up. So if you use your teeny tiny winsy bitty willpower to create a ritual and allow the ritual to form an effortless habit, then out of that habit is when transformation happens. So that was my point on ritual. The third fundamental I wanted to cover is the structure of genius. So school was your structure for an academic literacy. Journaling and ritual is your structure for a creative literacy. It's the doing it every day, because the more I can give you reasons for journaling and why and the value of them, the more I think you'll stick with it. But there are 4 things I want to make sure you got down about journaling, okay? The first one is the myth that journals will take time, okay? Or journals waste time. Journals do not take time, they do not waste time, they give time. And I've been struggling with God, how can I convince people of this? Because it seems like such a paradox. But remember, our God is a God of paradox. And there are other places in our world where what seems to cost is actually giving, like love. Love costs, but it gives a lot more. Children, they cost, but they give a lot more. So I want you guys to just shift your thinking somehow so that every day you're going, I'm not taking time right now. I am giving myself time, and trust that, because this time that seems like you're wasting is time in the garden. This is time at Jesus's feet, and He is going to reward you abundantly 30, 60, 100 times for this time you're sitting at His feet and journaling and allowing yourself creative space. Another thing about these journals, most people think of journals as being information based, very left-minded thinking and getting the information down. These journals are not meant to be information based, but experientially based and subjective. My dream is that you are going to experientially release onto the pages of your journal, but in the process, you are going to also experientially receive from your journal as insight and breakthroughs and revelation happens. So your journals need to be daily. Luke 21:19 says, staying with it. That's what is required. I don't remember what he was referring to, but this is what I'm referring to it, that genius, you guys, it's a journey, not a destination, and staying with it. That is what is required. Then the fourth fundamental I wanted to talk about, we never got to talk about at all. And maybe it's because I know that actually what I need is a whole 33-day genius journey just for this alone. And that is the power of our beliefs and the power of our unbeliefs. Because our beliefs our perception of reality, and they are the key to everything, because our beliefs limit the hand of God, but our beliefs can also release the hand of God. Our beliefs are so powerful, and they are the key to your relationships. Or beliefs are the key to your health, because I have so many of my own personal stories about how my life has been changed by changing my belief about it alone. Like my arm, that's a good example right there. But your beliefs are your key to the success of your whole life, and they're the key to your genius. So those were the 4 fundamentals I wanted to talk to you guys about this week. And so our activation today is that in your composting, which again, composting means non-stop writing, which is not the same thing as fast writing. It just means by non-stop, you're just writing words. Even if you're writing, I'm just writing words until the words that are in my subconscious about this come up. But what I'm going to invite you to compost about today for 10 to 15 minutes, your choice, is what are the 3 things you learned this week that most powerfully influenced you? So there's a double purpose in this. This is a practice in composting, but it's also a practice of creating a memory, a deeper memory, and therefore getting into your subconscious the truths about creativity and genius. As I do have 2 essentials that I would like you guys to do every weekend through our journey, 33-day genius journey. Trust me, you're gonna love them. So I will tell you about them. I love you guys. Take care of yourselves, okay? Stay warm. And I am still in Oregon, hopefully going home on Monday. But I do have a request for our weekends during the Genius Journey. There are 2 skills I would like to work on. They fit under the category of the 3rd R of receptivity. So these 2 skills that are essential are 1, play, and 2, rest. We do not work on these skills near enough, so we're going to be working on these during our weekends. So play, according to Dr. Stuart Brown, who is a medical doctor, psychiatrist, clinical researcher, and the founder of the National Institute of Play. He actually speaks and teaches all over the world about the necessity of play to unlock creativity. And we don't think of that as a skill that needs to be developed, because it should come natural, but we've lost that as a skill. So my request is that you set up a genius date with the Holy Genius every weekend. My preferences is they'd be at least 2 hours long, and of course they are led by the Spirit, and they can be just about anything, okay? They can range, these play dates can be anything from skiing, ice skating, water skiing, to going to art museums, to going to gardens, to taking violin lessons, to taking skydiving lessons, to learning how to dance, to sitting in a mud bath in New Zealand for my Kiwis, to drinking a glass of wine on the deck overlooking the Golden Gate Bridge. I don't know what these play dates will look like, but I believe the Spirit is going to lead you, and I think these are an essential part of this journey. I'm going to ask you to stay open to let the Spirit show you what He's thinking He'd like you to do the next weekend, okay? This weekend we're kind of short on that, so this weekend's activation of a genius play date is to walk out your door and follow your nose. See where the Spirit leads for 2 hours. And when your genius play dates are over, you come home and just write a couple sentences about what you did. And then the other thing is the skill of rest. Rest God talks to us a lot about the need for rest, and if you're like me, we're not very good at it. So a rest appointment every weekend as well, at least 30 minutes long. And these rest appointments should not have any screen time, you know, whether iPhones or iPads or TV, but 30 minutes of just rest in the form of, well, they could be a nap, but they could also be a walk, you know, in nature. The Spirit will lead you on that as well. But that is my request for our weekends. Genius play day, rest appointment. And then journal after both, whatever comes to you, because of course they'll fly out of our memory very quickly. And have a fabulous weekend. Love you guys.